Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Speculation around Mohamed Salah's future has resurfaced once again, with reports suggesting that Roma are interested in re-signing the Egyptian forward next summer. As the January transfer window opens, the story has added another layer of intrigue to an already uncertain period in Salah's Liverpool career, even if no immediate move is expected. Salah's connection with Roma is a significant part of his career story. It was in the Italian capital where he first established himself as one of Europe's most dangerous wide attackers, rediscovering confidence, sharpness, and consistency after an unsettled spell earlier in his career. His performances in Serie A laid the foundation for Liverpool's decision to bring him back to the Premier League, a move that ultimately transformed both the player and the club. Now, years later, Roma are once again monitoring his situation. Reports indicate that the Serie A side admire the idea of bringing Salah back as a marquee signing, someone who could elevate their attacking quality and global profile. However, financial realities mean that any approach is more realistic in the summer rather than January, with Roma unlikely to make a formal move during the current window. At Liverpool, Salah's future has become a subject of intense debate. While his legacy at Anfield is unquestionable, there is a growing sense that the club is approaching a crossroads. Age, wages, and the desire to reshape the squad for the next phase have all contributed to uncertainty. Salah remains a high-profile figure with a massive salary, and Liverpool's hierarchy must balance loyalty to a club legend with long-term planning. From Roma's perspective, a summer move makes strategic sense. It would allow them time to structure a deal, explore creative financial solutions, and assess whether Salah would be willing to return to a league where he once thrived. The emotional pull of Roma should not be underestimated. Salah has spoken warmly in the past about his time there, and the club's supporters still hold him in high regard. For Salah himself, the idea of a return to Roma would represent a different kind of challenge. Rather than chasing records in England, he could take on a leadership role in Italy, becoming the focal point of a project built around experience and quality. A move away from the Premier League spotlight might also offer a chance to extend his career at the highest level, without the relentless physical demands of English football. Liverpool, meanwhile, are not under immediate pressure to sell. Salah is still under contract, and any decision will be taken with care. The club are aware that letting him leave would leave a significant gap in both goals and influence. At the same time, they know that planning a controlled transition is preferable to being forced into a last-minute decision later on. As things stand, Roma's interest remains just that, interest rather than action. No talks are believed to be taking place, and Liverpool have received no formal approach. Yet the story highlights how Salah's future is no longer straightforward. What once seemed unthinkable is now being openly discussed, a sign of how football constantly evolves. If Roma do make their move next summer, it will not simply be a transfer negotiation. It will be a conversation shaped by history, ambition, and timing. For now, Salah remains a Liverpool player, but the possibility of a return to Rome has ensured that his long-term future will continue to dominate headlines in the months ahead. Sadio Mané's name being linked with a return to Liverpool has ignited powerful emotions across the fan base, especially in the context of Jurgen Klopp's renewed presence at Anfield. This is not just another transfer rumour. It is a story rooted in history, chemistry, and a shared legacy that once defined one of the most feared attacking forces in world football. Mané's original departure from Liverpool marked the end of an era. Alongside Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino, he formed a front three that terrorised defences across England and Europe. Their understanding was instinctive, their intensity relentless, and their success historic. When Mané left, it was not because the love was gone, but because he felt the need for a new challenge and a new environment after years of giving everything to the club. Even then, his exit felt unfinished rather than final. Since leaving Merseyside, Mané's journey has taken him through different leagues and cultures. He has remained professional, disciplined, and respected wherever he has played. Yet, despite individual success, there has always been a sense that his footballing identity was shaped most clearly under Klopp at Liverpool. The manager did not just improve Mané as a player, but empowered him as a leader, trusted him in the biggest moments, and built a system that maximised his strengths. Klopp's return to Liverpool, even in a renewed or adjusted role, has changed the emotional landscape around the club. His presence instantly reconnects the past with the present. For players who thrived under him, it reopens doors that once seemed closed. Mané's potential return is being viewed through this exact lens. The relationship between the two has always been based on mutual respect and honesty. Klopp understood Mané's mentality, his hunger, and his willingness to sacrifice for the team. From Liverpool's perspective, a Mané return would not be about nostalgia alone. The club has faced challenges in attack, particularly in moments that require directness, intensity, and fearlessness. Mané brought all of that naturally. His pressing from the front, ability to attack space, and commitment without the ball embodied what Liverpool fans expect from their players. Even as he has aged, those qualities have not disappeared. There is also the dressing room factor. Mané was a leader by example, someone who set standards without needing to dominate the spotlight. In a squad going through transition, his presence could provide balance, discipline, and clarity. Younger players would benefit from his experience, while the team as a whole would regain a familiar edge that once made Anfield a nightmare for visiting sides. For Mané himself, the idea of returning to Liverpool carries deep personal meaning. He left with respect, not resentment. The supporters never turned on him, and his name is still sung with affection. A return would allow him to reconnect with a fan base that embraced him not just as a great player, but as a symbol of hard work and humility. It would also offer him the chance to contribute again to a club that helped shape his legacy. Crucially, this would not be a reunion of the past for the sake of sentiment. Klopp's presence suggests evolution, not repetition. Any return would come with a clear role, defined expectations, and an understanding that Liverpool are building something new while honouring what once worked. Mané fits that balance better than most. If the move materialises, it would represent more than a transfer. It would be a statement that Liverpool are reconnecting with their identity, rediscovering the values that brought them success, and trusting relationships that have already proven their worth. Football rarely offers second chances that feel this natural. Sadio Mané returning to Liverpool under the influence and guidance of Jurgen Klopp once more would not be about rewriting history. It would be about continuing a story that never truly ended. Sadio Mané's name being linked with a return to Liverpool has ignited powerful emotions across the fan base, especially in the context of Jurgen Klopp's renewed presence at Anfield. This is not just another transfer rumour. It is a story rooted in history, chemistry, and a shared legacy that once defined one of the most